You know, speakers often say when they're introducing somebody that it's a true privilege. And say it often enough that maybe it's lost in a little bit of meaning, but I want you to know that right now it is a true privilege to introduce Representative Edward Markey. When we were thinking about someone to be our keynote speaker at this lunch, we thought about all kinds of options. And when we decided on Ed, it was so obvious that there was no one, certainly in the Congress, and I think in government today, who is more optimally matched to speak to the Union of Concerned Scientists. If you know Ed's career, you know that he has been a long time leader, champion, thinker about climate change, about energy policy, about nuclear proliferation, nuclear weapons policy, nuclear power and reactor safety, and a guardian of scientific integrity. Ed is the dean of the Massachusetts Congressional Delegation. He has been in Congress almost as long as the Union of Concerned Scientists has been in existence. He was elected in 1976. Ed has the distinction, his Chief of Staff, Jeff Duncan, told me the other day, of having had more AAAS fellows, the American Association for the Advancement of Science fellows in his office than any other member of Congress in history. And I believe that you have 4 or 5 of them just now. Ed is chair of probably the most important subcommittee in the House of Representatives, the Energy and Environment Subcommittee of Energy and Commerce, has a very wide swath of jurisdiction. He is chair of the Select Committee on Energy Independence and Global Warming that Speaker Pelosi organized when the Democrats took back control of the House a few years ago. And Speaker Pelosi had lots of options in choosing a leadership for this committee. Certainly more than 200 Democrats, several dozen very senior Democrats, and she chose Ed Markey. And with very good instinct, Ed has, even though that committee has no authorizing, direct, and legislative authority in the hands of Ed Markey, it has helped elevate the urgency of climate change, has looked into the whole range of climate science and technical solutions. The committee has held more than 50 hearings in its relatively short life. And to underscore the coverage of our issue mix that Ed brings, he is co-chair of the Bipartisan Caucus on Non-Proliferation. On the issue of fuel economy, that's an issue that you, as you know, that we as an organization claim our share of credit on. But Ed Markey, he's the fellow who wrote the legislation and was its champion and really was pivotal to us breaking through that 30 years of paralysis when the domestic auto industry succeeded in holding up any expectation that they innovate. And Ed Markey was the person who did that. And to underscore what skill and navigation that took, he had as his key nemesis, and I hope you don't mind my describing it this way, Sean Dingell, who's longtime chair of the Energy Commerce Committee and who was massively powerful and effective at preventing that industry from having to innovate. And then, most recently, Ed, with Henry Waxman, the chair of the Energy and Commerce Committee, authored the Waxman-Markey legislation, comprehensive climate and energy legislation that they not only got through a very difficult committee, but got it through an affirmative vote on the House floor. And the prognosticators at the beginning of this Congress said it couldn't be done, that there's no way that the House of Representatives is going to adopt comprehensive climate and energy legislation. And with Ed's leadership, really dating back to his writing, his ICAP bill, the Investing in Climate Action and Protection Act in 2008, which laid out the issues in a compelling way, and set the goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 2050 by more than 85%. And Ed was out there anchoring, showing the way, showing how we could raise revenue from the polluting entities and invest it in clean energy technologies. And just underscore how tough this committee is It is not only is the Republican Congress caucus on this committee quite hardline, but many of the Democrats come from oil states, coal states, auto states, states, heavy manufacturing states, with legitimate concerns, but not an inclination to vote for a price on the carbon. There is no more skilled legislator, communicator, strategist, or tactician, and no one more quotable than Ed Markey. And maybe most important of all, he is my congressman, and I think probably a congressman to a number of you here today. And it's remarkable, he not only is a superb local member of Congress, but he, of course, is a national leader, a national member of Congress in every sense of the word. Please welcome Ed Markey.
Speak with you on your 40th anniversary. As Kevin pointed out, this is now my 34th year as a United States congressman. And for 34 years, I have had an incredible partnership with the Union of Concerned Scientists. There is no better public advocate in Washington than the Union of Concerned Scientists, and there's nobody better than Kevin Knobloch running an organization our nation. And almost, I have to be very careful here because it's almost like a Hall of Fame weekend here when I see Lucky Wentworth, Eric Van Loon, and Alden Meyer, and I stop right there for fear of getting in trouble. But it is really a fantastic group of people who have been working for the Union of Concerned Scientists over all of the years. And it's an important organization to have because there's also, as you know, a union of unconcerned and uninformed ideologues that on an ongoing basis. And so this contest is something that that is essential to the well-being of our country and of the planet. And when you put down the calling card Union of Concerned Scientists, it makes a big difference. When I was elected many years ago, and growing up in Malden as a graduate of the Immaculate Conception Grammar School, Malden Catholic, Boston College, or Boston College Law School, not a lot of science in my background, but a lot of respect for it, because whether you're Irish and Catholic or Jewish or Protestant, we all go to our own places of worship, and then every one of us is taken by the hand when we're about 9 years old over to the Museum of Science, so that we can all worship science as well, regardless of the religion that we come from. Unfortunately, there are other parts of America that do not hold that duality with the same high regard that we do. And to show you how far I've come, and probably unlikely at the Immaculate Conception Grammar School, I am now married to the dream. I'm married to a Jewish doctor. Okay, so you can see how you can agree on the science, if not on the religion. You know what I mean? And that's my own personal progress. So when I started in Congress, I decided to focus